Moving on to topic two, I wanted to talk about shifting over from WWE to AEW. I want to talk about Double or Nothing 2021 that happened as of recording this past Sunday. I want to talk about the matches real quick, my thoughts overall on what went down, what was good, what was bad. Well, not bad, but just things I kind of questioned. So in total, we had 10 matches in total. One was part of the pre-show. I'll just run through them all quickly right now. Pre-show was Serena Deeb defeating Riho. We had Hangman Page versus Brian Cage. We had the Young Bucks versus Moxley and Kingston. Jungle Boy. Well, we had the Casino Battle Royale, excuse me. We had Cody versus Anthony Ogogo. We had Miro defending his AEW TNT Championship against Lance Archer. We had Britt Baker challenging Hikaru Shida for the women's title. We had Darby and Sting tagging against Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. We had Kenny Omega defending against Orange Cassidy and Pac for the World Championship. And then we had the Inner Circle against the Pinnacle with the Inner Circle stipulation that they couldn't tag together anymore if they lost. So yeah, those were 10 matches. I think the event came all together without the pre-show. It was almost 4 hours in time. So everybody got a good amount of time in their matches, which was great. Nobody felt rushed. Personally, I didn't think any match felt super duper long or extended. I just said that. Maybe one did, but I think that was more of a personal thing, personal preference or whatever. So yeah, I did not watch the buy-in. I did not watch the pre-show. So Deeb and Riho, I'm not sure exactly how their match went, but I'm sure it was great. It was for the NWA World Women's Championship, by the way. So Deeb did retain that title. So good for her. I'm sure those ladies crushed it and had a great match. So we move into the event itself. We had Hangman Page opening with Brian Cage. I thought it was for the FTW belt. Apparently it wasn't. So, okay. These guys had a good match. We have a little drama with Team Taz and Brian Cage going on as Ricky Starks and Hook tried to help out. Didn't work out in Cage's favor. Hangman won with the buckshot lariat after the distraction. Like I said, match was fine. I was really excited for Hangman to win because, once again, I thought going in it was for the FTW belt. I must have misheard. I was doing something else at the same time while I had it on. So that's on me. But I thought that would have been huge if he did win the title belt. But once again, good win. No Dark Order at all in this match. So cool, I guess. Hangman just doing it on his own. Well, it's interesting. We'll have to see where Cage and Team Taz go from here. If obviously it's going to cause some drama and distrust between the group. But we had that. So good opener. Move on to the tag title match. We have the Young Bucks versus Moxley and Kingston. These guys crushed it as well. No big surprise there. It's the Bucks in a tag match. I thought they made a pretty strong effort to make it seem like Mox and Kingston would win. I think Cutler did interfere at one point. Shocker, shocker, surprise, surprise. I don't think there was a Good Brothers appearance, if I'm recalling correctly. Callis was on commentary, so he didn't interfere. Yikes, a week later. You think I would remember these a little bit better. Maybe not. But solid match throughout. Like I said, we did have that one interference by Cutler, but good match by all those guys. Pinfall there. Casino Battle Royale was next. This was exciting. This was fun just because it is always that mystery element of who's going to show up with the Joker card. Being a big fat random. So we had the clubs first. Clubs consisted of 5 superstars. We had Christian Cage, Matt Sydal, Powerhouse Hobbs, Dustin Rhodes, and Max Caster. Followed by the Diamonds, Isaiah Cassidy, Matt Hardy, Preston Ten Vance, Nick Camarado, and Serpentico, replacing, I think, the Blade because he was injured. We had the Hearts group come out, Brian Pillman Jr., Griff Garrison, Colt Cabana, Anthony Bowens, and Penta El Zero Miedo. The Spades came out last. Jungle Boy, Mark Quinn, Aaron Solo, Evil Uno, and Lee Johnson. I think Solo replaced somebody as well due to injury. And then the Joker, our big surprise, was none other than New Japan's Leo Rush. Cool surprise, not going to lie. Wasn't the biggest surprise that they've had, but it was cool to see. I think Leo did a good job. He got a decent pop. The only thing, Leo seemed to rush a lot, and not no pun intended. He seemed to rush through everything. He went through a sequence with Hardy. He was doing some, fast movements, a lot of rolls to avoid other wrestlers, etc., etc. He goes with Hardy and does some strikes, and he's gonna do his signature where he springs off the bottom rope, comes up, and does the stunner. He slipped on the bottom rope or didn't get enough of a leverage point for himself to spring up properly. They kind of scratched it in a panic, not really, but in the moment, to kind of improvise. He did a lot of quick palm strikes, elbows, etc. to reset. He does it, goes for it again on his own effort instead of the Irish whip from the first one. Still, he hits the spring, but comes up, and Matt either wasn't ready or he wasn't reaching high enough. Stunner didn't look super great. So that's the only kind of downside I would say of this this surprise. After that, he was eliminated shortly after. So it was kind of like a very flash in the pan moment of like, oh, well, here he is, there he goes. Like, it was very, very quick. He didn't even make it into the final four. I think he was just shy of it. The last ones ended up being Hardy, Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn, Jungle Boy, and Christian Cage. So we had the Hardy family office working together against Cage and Jungle Boy. Private Party ended up getting thrown out, followed by Hardy. Ended up with Christian Cage and Jungle Boy, which these guys did really well. A very dramatic finish, very exciting. Jungle Boy ends up taking the win overall, so he's now number one contender, gets a title shot for the AEW World Title from the winner. I think they announced that. It's going to be a Saturday coming up soon. So that's exciting. It's exciting to see Jungle Boy get this push. Obviously, we saw the great TNT title match with him and I believe it was Cody a few months ago. Cool to see that. Cool to see him getting this push. Do I think he will win? Most likely not, but it's still a great opportunity for him to obviously keep doing what he's doing and, crush it. So, good for him. Let's see. So, after the Battle Royale, we had Cody and Anthony Ogogo. This was probably my low point for the pay-per-view, if I'm being honest. Maybe either the low point or like the second to low point. And maybe it's just me. I'm not the biggest Cody fan. I respect what he does. I like his entrance music a lot. I'm not going to lie. But like, I'm not like, woo, go for it all behind him. I understand the result, but I could see why people are kind of upset with it. So Cody went over clean with a pinfall. Ogogo is wrestling with injured ribs, so they kind of play on that, work those a little bit. Ogogo building up to this match, obviously he's been knocking people out with I think it's a gut punch, just bam, one done. We know he's got the boxing background. He does that, wins the matches. Obviously that wasn't going to happen here, unless we were going big surprise. I get we weren't going to do that here. I think the reason people were upset because they wanted Ogogo to go over. Now, I can understand why we'd want that. We have these just, once again, one-shot matches for 3 weeks. As a new talent, you want to just establish them, you want to push them, right? Make them more of a threat, people believe in them. I get that. I get that for building purposes. I also understand why they went the route with Cody winning. There's some things online, not that means anything, of the whole Memorial Day thing, country, blah, blah, blah. If that's the case, that's dumb. But I get it because, Cody's a vet, right? He's been wrestling for, God, I don't know how long. He can obviously take the shots from Ogogo. That's fine. Take your bruises, take your hits. But, the experience should factor into that. So I think that makes sense of why Cody won this over Ogogo. Is that going to affect Anthony's momentum? Sure, hopefully not too much, so that this is also just a flash in the pan that doesn't really work out, because what do they just call themselves? The Factory, QT's group, whatever they are. we got to build them up too. Like, we can't just be like, the fire starts and then we immediately stamp it out. Like, there's got to be something going on here. You got to give them a couple wins in order for Cody, Dustin, the Gun Club, like those guys to have something to go against and tackle, kind of thing. So, match is fine. Results questionable up in there. Like, I can see both ways. Just have to wait it out and see. Next match is also in my lower bracket of Miro defeating Lance Archer for the TNT Championship. Nothing against the end result. I think the end result was smart because Miro literally just won this title. So build him up. Good. It was by submission. He did the accolade or whatever he's calling his submission now. Lance never tapped out. Lance passed out. Never, didn't give up. So he still is strong in the fact of like, he didn't, under his own will, give up. He passed out. Ref had to call it. Fine. Match was okay. All good there. We had Jake Roberts come in and interfere at one point. Now, the point of at this point in the pay-per-view, it seemed like a lot of interference from the back. Now, looking at the title card here, that would be 2 matches before with interference. So Paige Cage, we had the interference by Hook and Starks. Bucks and Mox and Kingston, we had the interference by Cutler. Then we get I don't remember Cody and Ogogo having interference. I could be wrong by that. Nightmare Crew could have come out. I think no, because the Camarado with the bell was in the Battle Royale. So yeah, I can't 100% say on that match, but at least 2 we had interference in the back. So now you're adding a third with Jake showing up for Lance and Miro. I don't know. Kind of irked me there. So I would put that towards my bottom as well. Whatever. Is what it is. Like I said, smart finish. Both men look strong. We can move on from there. Next was the ladies. Britt Baker taking on Shida. Excuse me. Ladies crushed it. Great match. New champion Britt Baker. Like a lot of people could see that. I think if not everybody, a lot of people could see that coming. Pretty predictable in the outcome, but the match was very good. The ladies did a great job there. By submission, so clean there. Obviously, Britt's been crushing it this past few months, whether it was with Thunder Rosa or just obviously doing her own thing. So good on her. Hope for nothing but the best for her. And it's going to be interesting having that heel champion now. See who rises up to face her next, whether it's going to be Shida. It seems like she's doing a restart via Twitter for her character. I don't know if Riho is going to bounce back up or if Thunder Rosa is going to come back in after getting her clean win on that unsanctioned match. It's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. Either maybe somebody new. I don't know if Statlander's, obviously she's a face, but I don't know if she's doing anything other than the best friend thing. Like, questionable where we're going to go from there, but it's going to be interesting. I think it's a strong move to put the belt on her. She's obviously a great character, very strong character, so I think anybody she works with, it will just raise them up. Tag team match, we had Darby Allin and Sting defeating the Men of the Year, officially getting their tag team title, or tag team name, Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky. Another good match. Great to see Sting out there doing his thing. Seems healthy. Especially since like last we saw him wrestle with Seth. Like nothing you can really do about that. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but glad to see him back in the ring doing his thing, doing it well, and being entertaining. It was just a fun match. Like obviously no big implications are going to come out of it as far as I know. I think it was just a nice match for Sting. Is this the end for Sting? At the moment doesn't seem like it. Could have been, and a good ending. Yeah, I think so. If he never decided to wrestle again, like that was a solid one. But like I said, didn't seem to be any issues during the match for him, whatever it is. So like if he still wanted to do it, I could see it. Totally fine. Good match. Glad for him. Glad for Sting. Sorry, glad for Sting. Just a nice feel-good moment. Now, my match of the night, personally, was the triple threat for the world title. Kenny Omega defeating Orange Cassidy and Pac by pinfall. This match was great. These guys crushed their triple threat. I think this is one of the best triple threats I've ever seen, personally. We did the typical, two at a time at the beginning with somebody getting thrown out. But building to that end with those false finishes, man, these guys were going at it. And, they did a great job of storytelling. At this point, I don't think we're at the pinnacle of, now we can start the downturn, we haven't reached the point where we can get the rewarding, oh my God, we're defeating Kenny. He still has to hold on to these belts for a little bit longer, if not collect more. But they made it believable that, at least Orange was going to win. And that was great. We could get invested and get behind him. But yeah, just the series of moves towards the end and the drama there of oh shit, this person's gonna win. Oh my God, they hit this thing, they're gonna win. Kenny's using the belts, it's over. Nice touch there. Don't think there was any interference besides Callis and the belts being used towards the end of the match because the ref was knocked out. That was a nice touch that we're using all 4 belts, AAA, Impact, TNA, and obviously the AEW title. That was a nice touch. Honestly, there's no DQ in triple threats anyway, so never mind there. But yeah, that was great. We also get the replacement ref coming in, counting clean, so there's a little drama there. I don't think it was a fast count by Aubrey, but you got to see Kenny running at the end too. That kind of scared shit heel move. So dominant performance by him in the match, but still shows obviously he has the weaknesses there where he felt threatened or felt oh shit, I'm going to lose right now. All 3 men look great. Like I said, great match, good flow, good storytelling. Really, really fun. My top match of the night. Maybe my most favorite triple threat. Fantastic by all those guys. We get to the main event. It was Pinnacle versus Inner Circle, with Inner Circle defeating the Pinnacle in the Stadium Stampede match. Pretty entertaining. Looking at this article here, 31 minutes and 30 seconds. Longest match of the night. Holy shit. Certainly didn't feel like a half-hour match. But goddamn. A lot to this match. Obviously cinematic. A lot happening there. We had some fun cameos. We had the Jaguars coach in there. Not that I really care about football stuff. We had Conan showing up, helping out LAX. We had Tony Khan's dad showing up in standee form, which was a nice, fun little thing. I think the guys did great. It was entertaining. I wasn't the most engaged in it personally, just because wasn't my thing. Cinematic matches are 50-50 for me. Either I'm really into it or it's this is cool, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not biting my nails over it. It was fun. They ended in the arena, which was smart, and it was cool to see those different cinematic story elements all converge, if that makes sense. Cool to see Sammy get the win. So obviously elevate him up, especially after the drama of him quitting Inner Circle, but then doing the swerve. So cool to see that. I wasn't sure how this was going to play out heading into it. I wasn't sure if it would be more beneficial if Inner Circle split up to let, Santana Ortiz go do their thing and etc. But they're still around. Will this lead to another match between the groups? I hope not, just because repetition, but maybe because they each got one win. We'll have to see. But it was a fun match. All the guys did great in that one. Yeah. So those are all the matches. We did have one other surprise, other than the Battle Royale, Casino Battle Royale. We had a quick announcement, very quick announcement. just before the main event, I believe. Yes. Tony Schiavone came out to the ring. Random announcement that they're going to have a new analyst for the upcoming show Rampage. Mark Henry joining AEW officially. This was a big surprise just because it was hush hush all around. There was, speculation just based on Busted Open, for example. Mark sounded like he wanted to get back into wrestling a little bit. Obviously, he's been doing some kind of talent scouting for WWE with Bianca. And I think he had something to do with Jade, maybe too, in AEW. I don't know. Fully there. But he's going to be over there being the analysis for Rampage. We heard him last night on TV saying he's just here to tighten the screws, just kind of help out there. He's not going to plan on changing anything. So I think it's cool. More experience there. Once again, going back to the last topic, is just like, as long as you're investing in the talent that's already been there, focusing on making them better, I'm all for it. Why not? Sure. Why not use these resources that especially have all these years of experience and share it, as long as you're not gobbling it up all for yourself, the spotlight or whatever it is, then let's do it, kind of thing. So that was Double or Nothing. My thoughts on that. Great show overall. Definitely excited to see where things go from here. Who's challenging who moves up. Like I said, the Jungle Boy match, I don't have a lot of faith in Jungle Boy obviously winning that match, but I'm very excited for him with the momentum to get, see his stock raise. A little selfishly disappointed because I want Jurassic Express to do more, but it seems like obviously Jungle Boy's got the got the torch. Let him run with it. Hopefully that tag team can be elevated once again afterwards, but if he's doing his thing, let him do his thing. He's definitely deserving of it from what he's shown in his in-ring work. So not a lot of faith he'll win that one, but I'm sure he'll have a good showing on that Saturday whenever that does occur. You could probably check that out on the Google and look it up when it is, because it has been announced. But yeah.